Hello, I'm Shirley Romaine, and this is Art Scene on Long Island, a program in which each week we bring you the artists, performing arts groups, and institutions that enrich the quality of our lives here on Long Island. It is the only continuous program in the arts on the island. I have really a treat tonight. My guests today are old friends, and they always bring their wonderful selves or wonderful people to the program. In addition to being brilliant musicians, their duo piano concerts are in demand, certainly all over Long Island and the metropolitan area, and now even across the country. But they are among the creators and sponsors, and they are artistic directors of the annual Concert Festival, which is now in its third year, completing its third year. It's a competition for young musicians from ages 5 to 25, and they're pianists and instrumentalists and vocalists and soloists and ensembles, and they've added something new that Elena is going to tell you about. But in their own words, this is really what the Concert Festival is all about. The Concert Festival directors aspire to create an environment which offers young, talented musicians the opportunity to showcase their musical achievements while sharing their love for classical music with other musicians and the general public. So it is a most worthy objective, and I've been to some of your auditions, and they are friendly and professional, exactly what they should be. So welcome, Elena and Vladimir, to Art Scene. I'm delighted that you're here. And we have some guests, some young, very young guests who come to participate. So I'm really just delighted. I think we're going to have a good time. Today we have winners who have come to perform and to tell us something about themselves. But before we begin, Elena, what is it that, what makes you choose the young people that you do? I know they do send you DVDs, and some of them come and audition personally. What do you look for?
First of all, we look for the talent, and we can hear the love to music they're playing. And we, from our side, want them to give opportunity to perform in not only concert halls in the city, but now with a new venue, Concerto competition, we giving those young and talented artists to play solos with the symphony orchestras.
How wonderful, and how thrilling that must be. My gosh, you know.
Being professional musicians, we know that that's a dream for every performer, to play solo with the orchestra. But it's very, very hard to have in your life, even being professional. But for the young kids, what we know, the orchestras having concerto competitions, but it's limited by the place children live, or by the age. It's usually for high school kids. Now, we wanted to have it no border for age limit from 5 to 25, and no limit or borders for the place to live and go to school. So here now we have 3 soloists who want to play with North Shore Symphony Orchestra.
That's wonderful.
Which first orchestra and conductor Susan Deaver responded and loved our new project, and choose these 3 to play on Long Island, but they're coming from New Jersey, Connecticut, and New York, Long Island.
Well, we've got the whole Northeast here. I think that's wonderful. Yeah, that's great. Do you still have students who come from Europe? I remember initially we had a number of students.
We do, not for the concerto competition, but for our concerts, which we continue doing in the city, and all information will be later on the screen. concertfestival.org
You still have
website.
them.
Yes.
Well, this is really remarkable. I'm just wondering, my next question was going to be, has the festival changed during these 3 years? I'm sure it has, but of course this concerto is a very new idea and really very exciting.
It is new. It is new for us. It is new for everybody. And also we added composer showcase. We already had a couple of concerts, and first we had a age limit for the composers, the same as 5 to 25, but then we had a lot of calls and requests to
expand it.
To expand
it to
the,
composers.
yes, because many older composers would love to hear their compositions and have no chance, no opportunities to present
well,
it.
it's interesting. See, you're not just settling for a successful status quo. I mean, really, you're just thinking and adding and expanding. It's great. But listen, we really have to get to these three young people who are winners, and I think you have something so exciting in store. Have any of you ever done this before? Have any of you ever played with a symphony orchestra?
Not me.
No,
Not me.
no. So it really is a very exciting prospect. First, I'm going to talk to Maxim. You're first, and I'd like to ask you, you're an 8-year-old pianist and the only child to perform chamber music with the acclaimed Jupiter Symphony Chamber Players, where you have been a guest artist since you were 6 years old. That's pretty impressive. You performed at Carnegie Hall, at Steinway Hall, and other prestigious venues. And I wonder if you would tell us, well, first, let me just say, I see that you're a 4th grader at the Kennedy School in Great Neck, yes?
Yep.
You must be very busy. I know how much homework kids have these days, and I hope you have some time for fun, and you must have a lot of time to practice. How do you manage it all?
Well, I don't have like that much homework.
You don't? Good.
But I have all these like lessons at my mom's place that she runs, the Great Neck Music Conservatory.
Uh-huh.
So I also take lessons there.
Uh-huh.
And well, practicing, I don't feel like pressured. I just feel relaxed and calm.
Well, that's wonderful. How much practicing do you do a day on an average? I'm just curious.
Well, usually I do like 2 hours, two and a half.
Uh-huh. And you have lessons, of course?
Yeah.
In addition to the conservatory, or is that where you get your training?
Well, my mom also runs the music conservatory, and my mom also teaches me.
I see. I see. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? Tell us, what are you going to play for us?
I'm going to play Beethoven Concerto.
Okay, so let's go to that, and we'll hear you play the Beethoven Concerto.
Number 1.
Excellent, just excellent. Oh my. I should add, for your clarification and mine, that the other person in each of these clips that you're going to see is doing the orchestra part. Because, you know, you can't, I mean, I think the most eminent pianists must rehearse this way, because you can't have a symphony orchestra there all the time. Maybe you have probably one run-through, don't you, usually? A professional pianist doing a concerto with an orchestra?
I don't think so, probably more than once.
More than one? You think so? Maybe two? Well, at any rate, you need to practice more than that. So this is really a very interesting thing. Now we have Elena Gribelyuk. Have I said it right? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. You're 11 years old, and you live in Connecticut, and you're a pianist who has won many competitions and scholarships. Your most memorable, perhaps, is the Crescendo Little Mozart competition, which led to a recital at Carnegie Hall. That's got to be exciting. Mm-hmm. You know, in previous interviews, I've asked the kids what their objectives, and unanimously they all say to play at Carnegie Hall. So there you have the advantage. You're a 6th grade student at the King's School in Stamford in Connecticut, and you're an active member of the math team, and you take ballet and jazz classes. Now I have to ask you, how do you manage it all?
Well, my ballet and jazz classes are during school. I take them at school.
At school, okay.
Yes. And after school, I do my homework and then play piano for 2 hours.
For 2 hours. That seems to be the going rate, 2 hours. Do you think of music as a career? You're very young to be thinking about it, but is it, you know, how important is it to you?
It's pretty important. I really do love music, but I'm not sure at this point if it would be considered as a career or not.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. And now you play the piano, and I think you said you were interested in the clarinet?
Yes.
Yes? But you haven't, have you started with that? Or?
Yes, I play clarinet at school also. I have a clarinet teacher, and almost every day there's a clarinet class, so I take clarinet.
So there's a lot of music in your life.
Yes.
And dance, and math. That's interesting. You know, all of you have had the good fortune to study with really good teachers, and I think that, you know, has made a big difference. But tell us what you're going to play.
I'm going to play 17th Mozart Concerto.
Okay. All right. So we're just going to stand by and listen to you. I'm looking forward to it. Lovely, lovely. Oh, gosh. Really, you found them.
Beautiful.
You really found good ones. Next, we're going to hear Kira Prabhu, right? Have I
Yes,
said it
yeah.
right? Okay, good. She is 15 and she's from New Jersey. She began learning piano and violin, both at the age of 4. She has won many awards and scholarships, among them the Concert Festival Award for both violin and piano. So, how is this participation in the concert festivals? How has it influenced you as a young artist? I mean, how is it? I see you've won many awards and scholarships. What's unique about this one?
Well, I really have to thank the Concert Festival for giving me what all young musicians really, I think, enjoy and need to develop themselves as musicians and understand. It's also helped me develop good performance skills, which apply to other aspects of my life as well, even just in doing presentations and things. So it's a wonderful opportunity, I have to say.
Yes. Is music something you think you want to do as a career, or are you too young to say? Is it? I know it's something that enriches your life, but do you think about it for a future?
Well, definitely as I've been going along, music has become not only a bigger part of my life, but a part of me. And it's definitely something I want to keep in my life as I go forward. So definitely something, I'm not sure yet what I want to do professionally, but I do want to keep it in my life.
It's very much there.
Yes.
And you too, do you have other outside activities, all kinds of things that you do?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, we have limited free time, but in my free time I love languages.
Yes.
And I'm also a scuba diver.
Oh,
And I
Wow, we didn't know that.
And I swim, I like to bake, and I was fencing. This year I've had to put that aside, the fencing team, but I might go back to that.
Yeah, well, you all have very busy lives, that's for sure. What are you going to play for us?
I have Beethoven's Concerto No. 2.
Okay, why don't we have a look at it? Oh, lovely, lovely. Listen, the two of you must be sitting here feeling very good.
we enjoy
Showing
this.
off. Feeling very good about it. No, I think you're all terrific. Let me ask you a question, all of you. How do you feel about competitions? Because you've all done a lot, and you're very young, and you keep doing them, and you keep winning awards, but how do you feel? Is it kind of a wonderful challenge? Is it something that how do you feel about doing it? Tell me.
Well, I mean, they're a little nerve-wracking, but I like to have a goal to work towards, and it's a nice challenge, and then at the end, it's a nice opportunity to perform.
And you feel very good afterward.
Yes.
Yes. How about you?
In the beginning, I kind of feel nervous.
Yeah.
But at the end, it's like a challenge, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. But you usually feel good afterward. And you?
Well, the first two performances, I felt a little nervous, but now I feel confident and strong.
Yeah. Well, that's
good for
great.
you.
Oh, that's really very good to hear. You know, I forget who it was, but a great actor once said that anybody who performs who doesn't have nerves has no right performing. So that's par. But then once you're beyond that, You know, I know that as a performer. Once you're beyond that and you're kind of in the groove, it's really good. It's really very good. Listen, I want to put the information on the screen about the performance with the orchestra that you're going to do. So let's have that slate if we can, please. It's the upcoming concert on Long Island is it's Saturday, December 3rd, 2011, at 8 p.m. with the North Shore Symphony, and the director is the artistic music director is Susan Deaver, and it's going to be at the Plainview Old Bethpage John F. Kennedy High School Auditorium, and that's at 80 Kennedy Road in Plainview. And the telephone number there for information is 516-695-4476. I suggest you call if you need directions. And I think it's going to be a wonderful concert. They're calling it Musical Keys, and you are the guest artists. So I think that must be exciting. None of you have ever played with an orchestra before, have you?
No.
Oh, gosh, I think that must be wonderful. I know it's what it's like to sing with backup musicians, and that's so wonderful. So playing must be, the orchestra must really be terrific. I did mention this, but I think it's important that each of you has had the opportunity to study really with very, very qualified teachers. And you you can call her mom, which I think is wonderful, you know, to have one in the family. I do want to mention, I'll do this at the end. Let me ask you this. If your best dream were to come true, and I guess we're talking about music, what would it be? You go first.
Well, it would probably be like playing in front of like thousands and millions of people.
Yes. Why not? Listen, why not? It's his favorite wish.
Yes.
Why not? Absolutely.
That's right.
How about you?
My wish would be to play with the orchestra, which it came true. So.
Which is about to come
Yes.
true, which I think is wonderful. How about you?
I think my wish would probably be to play all that wonderful repertoire out there. There's just so much of it, and I just like to play it all.
Okay, okay, very, very good. Very ambitious ambitions. I think that's terrific.
Kira is really doing a good job in this match because she is playing two instruments, absolutely high level, both of them, which we on our festival met for the first time, and so far it's the only time.
Yeah.
So.
And now let me ask you something. You've been very quiet during this interview. It's usually you, but let me ask you, this is the third year now of the concert festival. I'm sure there are things that you don't want to do anymore, but I know there are things you do want to do. So what happened in the 3 years that's made it, well, now this is one thing, the concerto, being able to play with concerto.
Yes, that's new.
Are there other things on the horizon, or things just generally you've learned with auditions, with choosing, with all of those things?
That there is still a lot of love for classical music in the young generations. And that's not the only sport important in youngsters' lives, but music, and especially classical music.
Yeah.
And these three young artists we have today represented the best. So we happy that we open those talents and keep looking for more to come.
Yeah, now you did touch on something else. You talked about composers, perhaps finding another way of expanding by including composers.
That's
Is that
right.
something you're seriously thinking about? And would that somehow change the age, or how would that work?
We decided not to do any age restrictions, like from 2 years old to 102 years old.
You never know.
Yes, maybe little Mozart
Yeah,
will
because
come again.
on the first time we did this, the one man asked us could we with him? He's 25 and 1 month. Okay.
Yes, okay. But then we had a call from one composer, 54 years old, and said, I would love to participate.
Why not? Why
So starting this year, there is no age limit for the
Yeah.
composers.
Yeah. Oh, well, then I think that sounds really exciting.
If you're composing something, just come to us.
Oh, yes,
and
I will. Oh,
play
you'll
your
be the
piece.
first to know. Wanted to ask you this. Have the numbers of applicants increased over the 3 years? The more
Yes.
the word
Oh,
gets
yes.
out about what you're doing.
Yes, each year, each year, we had only 2 years already, but the third season starts right now, and we hope that it will increase as well as the second
Yeah.
compared to the first one.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know what? I want to mention that for this concert, December 3rd, we will have a beautiful Steinway piano, which is donating to us by the Steinway company
Oh,
manager.
lovely.
His name is Barry Tognolini, and it's Long Island Steinway used pianos gallery. He heard the idea, he heard our project, and the piano in school is not very high quality, and he suggested that he will
That
bring
they
the
bring the
piano,
piano.
and they will have the best opportunity to.
How very exciting for
Play.
you. Isn't that the prospect of
Definitely.
that
Yeah.
exciting? I should think so. Oh, I think that's wonderful. I do want to mention, we didn't talk about the concert festival itself, which is another whole department. So we have a couple of minutes if you would like to just say a word about that.
I would love to say, if I show it like that, will
Well,
it be
can you come in
seen?
on that, Pat?
Because we created a great poster for that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
yes, you can see it.
There it
and
is.
then those pictures from our previous concerts. So we will have concert venues in Whale Recital Hall, at
Yes,
Carnegie Hall.
I have a list of that.
Okay,
The
you
winners, the winners of this competition, of the regular concert festival, perform at Weill Hall in Carnegie Hall, at the Bruno Walter Hall in Lincoln Center, at the Baruch Performing Arts Center, at Symphony Space, and at the Rose Studios at Lincoln Center. So it really is it's a wonderful project that has really taken off, because I remember the beginning and the germ of the idea, and then it developed the first year, and now it really is going full swing. I think it's just absolutely wonderful, and I want to thank you all. This has been such a treat. I mean, I've had you, Vladimir,
Thank you for
and
having us.
Elena. And I've had you. I've had Kira and Maxim and Elena. It's really been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Shirley, we
you
want
very
to
much.
thank you.
And I wish you so much good luck. I'm going to try to be there because I'd really love to hear you
Oh, you
all
must.
perform. Yes, I really want to.
We want to thank you for having us and our winners.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. In the beginning I said you always bring us wonderful things, and you do.
Here they are.
I'm Shirley Romaine for Art Scene. I'll see you next time.